You saw movement from the two teams that ain't making movements. You see what I'm saying? It's just so many jokes here. So many jokes. We're gonna talk about these all season grades from Joe can see the Dirty Birds. You know what I mean? The Atlanta Falcons. I mean, there's so much that happened. They went and got a new head coach. They went and got a new quarterback. They went and got another quarterback, and then they went and got a wide receiver. But the wide receiver, I think he got hurt in training camp, so he might be out for the season. So they're in the market. Wow, they're in the market for another wide receiver too. I don't know how much money they got. I ain't gonna start nothing on it. But they can go find a free agent or something. Juju just got cut. But again, we gotta do our all-season grades, man. This was your quarterback. You started this guaranteed contract run that Kirk Cousins went on before he went out to Minnesota. What was it, about 3 franchise tags? Then he got to get 2 guaranteed contracts from Minnesota. Then he go down here fresh off the Achilles tear, and he right back at it with some more money. It ain't fully guaranteed, but he got his money. What's your grade, Joe?
My grade, C minus. I'm gonna give it a C minus. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C minus because I feel like they did some good stuff, but then based off right now, I gotta give it a C. All right, let me tell you why. First off, I like the moves. Obviously switching out the head coach, took out Arthur Smith and Raheem Morris, more of a defensive minded coach, a leader of men. I heard there's great things said about him through his previous organizations. Signing Kirk Cousins, which is big. What's good, Gio? Signing Kirk Cousins, which is big because the biggest issue was we all know Desmond Ridder. Shout out to Carl. Can't stand him, right? Desmond Ridder, he was horrible. I remember when we played him, he threw the ball to us 3 times. They should have lost us, but he threw the ball to us 3 times. Like, we were like, all right, thank you. All right. And it was still a close game. So it got Kirk Cousins. They traded for Darnell Mooney. I thought that was a good pickup too. Mooney, I feel like he got some promise to him, but his quarterback was Justin Fields, and he's not really that Kirk Cousins type quarterback. So I feel like it'd be much better with him. We all know the elephant in the room, Michael Penix. Now, Michael Penix, this could turn out to be really good, y'all, because you're preparing for the future. Jordan Love, we see that all the time with the Packers, right? Jordan Love, they traded up in the first round to get Jordan Love. He didn't play for all these years, and look how it turned out. They got their franchise quarterback, right? This could be Michael Penix. The only thing is Michael Penix is already 24 years old, number one.
38.
So let's say he sit out for 3 years like Jordan Love, he'll be 20, he'll be 27 years old. But after they drafted Michael Penix, their next 1, 2, 3, 4 draft picks were all from the defense side, which I like. They addressed the defense in the draft. So they did lose Cordell Patterson, who y'all know I like a lot. He went to Pittsburgh. But that's all they really did. They didn't really do a lot this offseason. So I'm going to say C minus only because, like, if that Michael Penix move never happened, they would have got an A from me. But they could have got somebody else for this year that can help because they can make a run to the Super Bowl. Really, the NFC is not as strong as the AFC. But instead, they wasted it on the quarterback. So that's why I'm going to give it a C. Not C, I'm going to give it a C.
Okay.
I'm gonna take your C and raise it to a C plus. That's how I feel about. That's how I feel about the Falcons 2024 offseason. Now, Tomo, you did talk about Kirk Cousins' contract. 4 years, $180 million, $100 fully guaranteed, $90 million within the next 2 years, and then another $10 million in 2026.
Just give me my more.
And a $50 million signing bonus. So he got that as well.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, man, I feel like he can really this can help the Falcons get back to where they were when they had Matty Ice, when Matty Ice had his MVP season. When he had also a good running back there behind him, which was I think I had his name.
For the Falcons?
Yeah.
Bijan?
Nah, not Bijan. I'm talking Matty Ice, not now.
Freeman.
That's how Gurley. Yeah, Freeman.
Nah.
It's Dredge, right?
No, it's another running back I'm thinking about. Don't worry, I'll figure it out by the time.
With Matt Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Davis?
Nah. It's another guy I'm thinking about.
Okay.
He was there for a short period of time, but he was
Todd Gurley?
Nah, it's not Todd Gurley.
But
It's another name I'm thinking of, but it's not Todd
Cool.
Gurley.
Go ahead. Let's continue. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this was a pretty good offseason. Other than, of course, the Michael Penix thing, I do agree with Joe with that one. I feel like it could be really good down the line, but is it really going to help them this year? I don't know. But then again, I don't think they need a lot of help on offense. They got a okay offensive line, so and they signed some guys to kind of help out with the depth in the offensive line. And this defense is not bad. Along with them being able to get some draft picks in this defense, AJ Terrell I think he's going to have a good season this year, even though he wasn't attacked that much last year. He didn't have any interceptions last year, but I think that's going to change this year. Also, I think this is going to be a really good year for Kyle Pitts. You know, Kyle Pitts hasn't had a quarterback since he's been there. He had Desmond Ridder, and we know Desmond Ridder is not that good.
Yeah, Tyler Heineke.
As I said, he didn't really have a good quarterback that was there. Drake London had 900 receiving yards last year. I think he can get more than that this year. Darnell Mooney, like I said, Bijan, I think he's going to have a really good season. I think this team overall is going to be better. Along with Kirk Cousins coming in, the only thing is what is going to happen with Kirk Cousins. He's not the guy that moves around in the pocket a lot, so the Achilles might not affect him that much. But he is getting older, so it will affect him somehow. So, and this is his most major injury he's had in his career. But I think with him coming to Atlanta, it's going to help these receivers and the tight end. With Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London, I think all these guys are going to have career years because they have Kirk Cousins there. So I'm giving it a C+ for that and all the other things they did in all season.
All right, so quick list of running backs right quick. Devontae Freeman, Michael Turner.
Warwick. That's what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
I was thinking about Michael Turner.
All right, I was going to say, if I got to go to Warwick Dunn, then we're going too far back.
I know you're going right.
We're going too far back.
Yeah. Yeah, J-Mo. I was talking about Michael Turner.
Look,
that was something else. I knew Todd Gurley and them played, but it was just that's the name I was thinking about.
I gotta go by the word.
Hey, like,
Michael Big Day.
Man, I'm like, nah, he definitely wasn't there with Matty Ice. I don't know. But it's funny that we all in the same ballpark with the grade, because I'm going C+ also. Like, I was definitely ready to give him a B+, maybe an A, if they didn't draft my man at number 8, go get a quarterback after you just paid this quarterback all that money. Now I'm looking at it right here. I was like, man, maybe they could have got one of those top wide receivers. And then I was like, wait, Rome Odunze is a good wide receiver too. They could have added to that core. I think if they were looking for another, they got Bijan, so they don't need another running back. So I think at 8, they were more so trying to fill out who could we trade with, and if we can't get a trade partner, what do we do? And I think they just panicked and went for a quarterback. They was like, we got Kirk, and then let's see if Kirk can actually pan out. And if Kirk can't pan out, we put the young kid in. And maybe we have a Jordan Love situation where it's a little bit earlier. Maybe it's 6 weeks into the season, or maybe it's 7 weeks into the season. But bringing back Raheem Morris and Kirk Cousins and having Tyler Heineke there, it's a little funny because didn't Raheem start in DC? Mm-hmm. He started in DC, then he went down to Tampa Bay. And I think he ended up out LA. So that connection, the commander side, Joe, you might want to start it, man. The commander side is there. It ain't as deep rooted as another team in the NFC East, but the commander ties are there. So bringing back Raheem, it seems like it's a new life into this team. Also, just the division that they're in right now and how most of their teams right now are trying to figure out who they are. This is a good time for the Atlanta Falcons and Kyle Pitts. I know Kyle Pitts is one of the happiest people in the world. He said, I got 2 quarterbacks now. We went from having no quarterbacks to possibly 2. So at least somebody going to throw me the ball. And Bijan, like, well, if Kyle can get open, then I can get some more yards because they finally starting to use me with a new offensive coordinator. Remember last season, I think he can get used until, about week 6, like properly used as a running back. So that'll be good for them too. Now, again, them trading trading for Rondale, and then Rondale injury happening. I know they weren't expecting that, but again, he'll come back next season and then he'll be ready to go too. But I like what they did in this all season. Outside of the draft, the first round of the draft. That's it.
Yeah. They replaced him with James Washington though, so they signed some. They got a vet receiver to kind of sort of replace Rondale Moore. Not saying that he's a great addition, but it's not bad. And got James Washington there, and also I think another reason why I gave them a C+ is because if you look at why they drafted Michael Penix, you can understand it because look at what happened when they got Matt Ryan. They didn't plan for his replacement, so they now we know somebody who we know we got Kurt. We know we got him for the next 4 years. We got a plan for the future. So I think they should have waited, but I mean, I understand it because they want to make sure they have a young guy in place in case something happens to Kurt or whenever Kurt, decides to retire. So it makes some kind of sense. It just like you probably could have got, like you said, you could have got Rome Duzier, could have got an offensive lineman, could have got somebody to help out your team this year. But
hey, baby, go ahead, baby.
And look, I know somebody said, who was it, Javon? Somebody said we the Cleveland Browns of the division.
Yeah.
I mean, all these legendary coaches started in Cleveland, right?
That's right.
So I guess
Kyle Shanahan was there at some point. So
and his whole offensive staff, look where they at.
I'm talking about like back then when Bill Belichick was the head coach. They had what's the Seahawks coach's name? What's his name?
Carroll.
Pete Carroll on there. The Alabama dude. What's his name?
Nick Saban.
He was part of that stuff. Who else? You got it's a lot of coaches that became head coaches was part of that Browns group.
Facts.
And look at us, same thing. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, Mike McDaniel, Raheem Morris. I mean, I keep going. I just named all great coaches, bro.
I just noticed something. There's so many great things that just come out of poverty. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z, Biggie Small. Like that's what you just said, Joe.
For real. It's not poverty no more, though. Shout out to my man.
I mean, everything got gentrified now, so you know what I mean? Y'all in good hands. Like
he right though. I no shame in my game.
It's just the term you use. That's so hilarious.
You know they sweet clean the curb? No, we had to sweet clean the whole neighborhood. I'm talking about we had to get rid of everything.
Yeah. I said, hey, you over there? Come on, you come in with us. But I mean, let me say this about James Washington right quick though. The only reason I laughed at James Washington is because the Cowboys signed James Washington for that same said reason.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah. And it just was like, nah.
I knew that's why you sniffed at it, but that's why I was like, he's not great, not a great addition, but it's something.
Yeah.